ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Tsahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Awareness-raising activities on harmful practices conducted in ERi subzone. Additional classrooms in Darussalam Elementary School. China and Canada announced tariffs relief. And US opens missile facility in Qatar. Proceeding with our reports. Awareness-raising activities with a view to enhance the understanding of the public and students in children's rights and the consequences of harmful practices were conducted in ERi subzone. The awareness-raising program, carried out in collaboration with the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare Branch and the Committee Overseeing Children's Rights and Harmful Practices, was conducted in the area administrations and schools on 15th and 16th January. Ms. Medhanit Girmay, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare Branch in the subzone, gave an extensive briefing on the negative consequences of underage marriage and female genital mutilation and called for integrated effort for their eradication. Mr. Habtai Tasfazgi, administrator of the subzone, on his part called for religious leaders and students to play their due role in the eradication of the harmful practices. The participants, on their part, expressed conviction to play their due part until the subzone is declared free of harmful practices. At the event, awards were handed to the winning students in general knowledge contest. Moving on. Additional classrooms has been constructed in a Darussalam Elementary School located in Tsatsarat subzone of the Central Region at the cost of over 300,000 nakfa. Mr. Sarzu Taklai, head of the Basic Education at the Ministry of Education in the Central Region, and Mr. Fesahayat Agay, head of the Education Office in the Southwest, commended the initiatives taken by the Parents Committee and other contributors to address the classroom shortage in the school that has been facing. Ms. Himaret Eyob, director of the school, said that construction of the additional classrooms beyond addressing the challenge the schools has been facing will make a significant contribution in the development of teaching and learning process. Mr. Emmanuel Forki, chairman of the construction committee, and Mr. Berkhat Gabiher, managing director in the subzone, expressed appreciation to all who contributed in the program and called on others to take similar initiative. Darussalam Elementary School was established in 1947. School's Cultural and Sports Week conducted in Ginda subzone from 27th December to 14th January. The week was participated in the elementary and junior schools in Ginda town. Mr. Muhammad Salah, coordinator of culture and activities in the subzone, said that the objective of the program is to enhance students' talent, develop their capacity and competitiveness, as well as nurture students who adhere the noble social values and share experiences among each other. Mr. Muhammad Salah also indicated that similar cultural and sports week were conducted in the schools of Kahtalai, Laitan, and Metkal Abet. Mr. Muhammad Ali Umar, head of the Culture and Sports and Health in the subzone, said that the training program were organized for coordinators of the program and aimed at upgrading their understanding of the initiative. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced lower tariffs, signaling a reset on their country's relationship after a key meeting in Beijing. China is expected to lower levies on Canadian canola oil from 85% to 15% by 1st March, while Canada has agreed to tax Chinese electric vehicles at the most favored nation rate 6.1%, Prime Minister told reporters. The deal is a breakthrough after years of strained ties and tit-for-tat levies. President Xi hailed the turnaround in their relationship, but is also a win for Canada's Carney, the first Canadian leader to visit China in nearly a decade. Prime Minister Carney has been trying to diversify Canadian trade away from the U.S., his country's biggest trading partner, following uncertainty caused by Trump's on-again, off-again tariffs. The Prime Minister told reporters that Canada's relationship with China has been more predictable in recent months and that he found talks with Beijing realistic and respectful. As the Chinese and Canadian delegations sat down on the Great Hall of the People yesterday, President Xi stated that the healthy and stable development of the China and Canada relationship is conducive to the world, peace, stability, development, and prosperity. And observers believe Carney's visit could set an example for other countries across the world who are also feeling the pain from Washington's tariffs. The U.S. has opened a new air and missile defense coordination cell at a key air base in Qatar during rising tensions with Iran. President Donald Trump promises to assist protesters in the Islamic Republic. In a statement on Tuesday, U.S. Central Command said that facility at the Al Udeid Air Base, which houses some 10,000 troops, would be compromised by American and allied personnel and seek to enhance integrated air and missile defense. The new cell is also intended to tighten information sharing, threat warning, drill and joint response for the air and missile defense, the U.S. official said. The move comes during a soaring U.S.-Iran tension, with Trump offering symbolic support for the uprising, and that began in late December as protesters over the sharp devaluation of the Iranian rial in the sanctioned country's cost of living crisis. The U.S. president in particular has urged Iranians to keep protesting and said help is on its way, while also warning of very strong action in case of the harsh crackdown on the protesters. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Tehran did not seek war but was prepared for it, and Iranian officials have warned neighboring state that the host U.S. force that they could face retaliation if Washington attacks. On our last report, Russia and Namibia have outlined a wide range of promising areas in bilateral cooperation following high-level talks in Moscow on Wednesday. Speaking at a press conference, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov noted that geological exploration and extraction and promising of the mineral resources, including uranium, were sectors for cooperation, as well as energy and agro-industry complex and fisheries. The Russian diplomat noted that discussion had also covered contacts in culture and sports, and that tourism and healthcare are other areas with clear potential. Namibian Foreign Minister Selma Alshipala Savaivi described relations between the two nations historical and strategic. The two ministers also discussed regional security issues affecting Africa. Lavrov focused on the situation in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and the Sahara-Sahel region. He noted that these areas face complex challenges driven by external actors pursuing their own interests and past attempts the terrorist group in the region and strength. Lavrov stressed that Russian advocates for African countries to lead the resolving their internal problems, where external players should respect the approach developed by African and provide possible support for the practical implementation of this approach. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Awareness-raising activities on harmful practices in Adoi subzone. Additional classrooms in Deversala Elementary School. China and Canada announced tariffs relief. And U.S. opens missile facility in Qatar. And that is the news from ERi-TV Studios. This has been the Late Diary reporting. Thanks for watching.